Hello there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop again this week. I got 5 new comics, and I did not get this, but a friend lent this to me this week. Lou Fine Comics. Lou Fine is a Golden Age artist. Was famous for his fine line work and his covers. I haven't read a ton just of Lou Fine stuff. Like I said, he's a Golden Age guy. I first remember him. There's some of his covers. Weird comics. Mystery comics. Oops, see if we can get a look at it there. I remember him, first remember him from, buying price guides in the late 70s. It was that one's famous right there, the Hit comics with the shark. Let me see if I can get that, my hand out of the way. Hit comics with the shark and glare. Like I said, I first remember seeing his stuff. The Overstreet Price Guide would always note Lou Fine cover or Lou Fine artwork in it. So though I never saw any of the books, I knew he was a popular artist because they would note whenever he came out. So other books by pure imagination. All right. This came out in the early 80s. Wow, in the early 80s, the Golden Age wasn't that far away, was it? Only 30-something years away, rather than as far away as it is now. But anyway, whoops. Fine Comics, I'm going to check this out. And here we go. I think 3 out of the 5 comics this week are last issues. This is Lazarus X plus 66, 6 of 6. I guess this isn't really a last issue, since the end of, I like that cover. Since the end of Lazarus X plus 66 means that the real Lazarus series is coming back. I've enjoyed all 6 of these. These have been looks into the world of Lazarus. This future dystopia where a few families run the whole world and their battles they're having. So it's a political military book. I guess you'd call it. And each of these have been done in ones, a little bit about the world, all written by Greg Rucka, but different artist every issue. It's been it's been a decent little series since Lazarus has been gone. But I'll be happy when Lazarus gets back. Our next last issue is Frank Cho Skyborn, a real last issue. He's been doing all that little noodling. Either a pencil or a ballpoint pen. He's been posting some ballpoint pen drawings that he kind of uses like a pencil to make those light little lines. On Instagram, he's been posting them, so I've been seeing them there. But this is the 5th issue of Skyborn, our superhero James Bond thing. It's been a while since the 4th issue came out. I think last I knew a giant dragon appeared, or a bunch of giant dragons, and he's got to fight Merlin. I guess that's Merlin. Merlin was the villain of the piece. So it's all a final battle issue. I've enjoyed this series. Frank Cho's been writing it too. The writing's been mostly plot related. There hasn't been I wouldn't say there's been a lot of characters. It's more like an action movie than anything else. And as an action movie, it's perfectly fine. So Frank Cho Skyborn, but of course the real star is the art. Frank Cho Skyborn, check it out. And our last issue, our third last issue, not the last issue I'm going to show you yet, is Invincible. Number 44, the best double-sized final issue of all time. And once again, look at those corners. Since it's a double-sided issues, the corners get blown out when it gets folded. Once again, how do you grade that? That would be a production error, I guess, but it's not an error. It's going to happen. When you've got this many pages and you got to fold them, that's going to happen. So it's like, I don't know. How does CGC grade that? Someone let me know. I have no idea. But anyway, after 144 issues, 12 dozen, that makes it gross. We finally get the... I think a lot of this is going to be an epilogue because they really wrapped up the story. I think all the action is done. A new kid Invincible. I don't know what that is. But like I said, I think I think a lot of this is going to be epilogue. That's a lot of epilogue at double page because they fought the final battle against the Viltrumites and won. Earth is kind of back to normal, to what it was, and everything's over. All the fighting's over, except we'll have to see what happens in this issue. But you know, I was buying this mostly, or almost until recently, in the Absolute editions, but I've been buying it since for when did this come out? 2005, around then. So I've been buying it for that long. I only switched over to the comics with issue around 122, but it's gone now. It's been a great comic all these years. If you ever get a chance, check out Invincible. Kill or Be Killed. Issue number 16 is here. Beginning of what, the 4th story arc? Or the last issue was. Last issue was good. He ended up in a mental asylum because he was going crazy from this hitting my tripod. He was going crazy from the demon who was either there or not. He's either seeing demons or he's got a mental illness. He has no idea, but he ended up in the asylum because he thought it was mental illness, even though, let's discuss your medication. So there's going to be a big excitement about medication dosages this issue. Woohoo! But Kill or Be Killed. I mean, pick up anything by Brubaker and Phillips, and it's excellent. And they got Elizabeth Breitweiser on the colors. She's now officially part of the team. I think they have like a carte blanche contract with Image too to do whatever they want. The three of them. So Kill or Be Killed is excellent. Anything they've ever done is excellent. I'm sure anything they'll do in the future is excellent. So get yourself some Brubaker, Phillips, and Breitweiser. Next, we have The Hero Denied. Mage issue number 6 of 15, I believe. Matt Wagner. And there's Kevin Matchstick, the reincarnation of King Arthur. And last issue, when I flipped through and showed you the Mage from the first series, it was a fake out. He isn't back. It was a flashback sequence. I, of course, didn't know that since I hadn't read it yet, since I'm just back from the comic shop. But our hero here, Kevin Matchstick, is out fighting evil magical monsters. He's been, I don't know, retired in hiding for 10 years, and now he has to come out and finish some unfinished business. It's a good series. All three, the series from the 80s was good, the series from the 90s is good, and now the series from 2018 is good too, so get yourself some Mage. And our last comic of the week is Stray Bullet, Sunshine and Roses, number 32 by David Lapham. And that's a grody cover. Kiss, kiss. Who knows what we're getting this issue, and because it's so crazy, been so crazy. Those are our 3 characters on the run. So they're probably in this issue. We also have 3 characters chasing them. We've got characters back in Baltimore wanting to get them in trouble. We got flashbacks up there in San Diego. We got flashbacks to characters. We got fantasy sequences. We've got metaphorical fantasy sequences. And we've got lots of crime. Stray Bullets is good every month. I mean, it's amazing that there've been 32 issues of this out. I think he's gotten this out faster than the regular first Stray Bullets series in the 90s, which I think took him longer to get to 32 issues. But he's been churning them out here at Image Comics. So El Capitan was his own self-published company. So it's been really, really good. If you can just pick up any issue of Stray Bullets, though it's a long, continued story. Each issue is self-contained. It's hard to describe in that way, but you can pick up any single issue and give it a read and see if you like it, and if you like it, grab some more. And finally, we'll give you a little look at my background artwork this week, which is pencil drawings on canvas. And they're done in 2 different styles. This is the clean. It's tough drawing with pencil on canvas. It really shreds the pencil, but it's kind of fun. I like the look. I like that as a drawing it becomes a solid kind of object. But this is the clean style where I drew it first and then transferred the drawing over. So is this. This is also the clean style. I'm trying to keep the white as clean as I can, which is really tough with all this graphite. And these are, I used a spray fixative on them afterwards so that it stays clean. You know, it sprays all the graphite on. And this is the grayer style, or as you can see, I drew right on, there was no preliminary drawing. It's just dive right in, and it's kind of like a time machine. You can see how the drawing changes as time passes because all those lines are still there. I haven't figured out which one I like better. I kind of like them both ways. So sometimes I like the drawn to be messy and sometimes neat. So we'll keep it. Maybe I'll keep doing those both ways. But anyway, you guys have a good week out there, and we'll catch you next week.